All right, so everyone wants to work at those big MEA companies,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Meta, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google.
For sure.
But how do you actually get hired there?
Right.
Today, we are going to try to figure that out.
Sounds good.
We found this really cool article called Cracking the Code, Your Ultimate Guide to Landing a May Tech Job.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty awesome because it doesn't just focus on the technical skills.
Oh, yeah.
It talks about this thing called
Coder Ikigai.
Coder Ikigai.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I've never heard of that.
So it's this idea of finding your purpose
Okay.
as like a coder.
Hmm.
You know, aligning your passion and your skills with the right role.
I see.
It's kind of like that Japanese concept of Ikigai, you know?
Okay.
But it's specifically for like landing your dream tech job.
So it's more than just being good at coding.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
have to show them that you're driven and that you fit into their culture.
Exactly.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's all about standing out,
Yeah.
you know. Instead of just blending in with all the other people who can code.
Absolutely.
So the article breaks this Coder Ikigai thing down into 4 pillars.
Right.
The first one is called the captain's command.
Okay, so this one's all about taking charge of your job search.
Okay.
Like the whole interview process.
Oh, I shouldn't be applying to every job I see.
No, not really.
Got it.
You got to be strategic about it.
Hmm.
It's like plotting a course on a map, you know?
Okay.
Making sure you're headed in the right direction.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
Setting sail for the right destination.
Right?
So what else does a captain have to do in this job search voyage?
Well, during the interview, you have to ask insightful questions.
Wait.
Yeah.
I thought the key was knowing the answers.
You have to know the answers,
Right.
but you also have to ask questions.
Why is that?
Think of it like a real captain. You know,
Yeah.
they don't just set sail without understanding like the weather,
True.
the hazards,
Right.
destination.
That's a good point. You're showing them that you're really thinking about everything,
Exactly.
not just showing up in coding.
Right.
It's like you're charting the course of the interview.
Exactly. You're curious.
Right.
You're strategic.
Hmm.
You're thinking beyond just the immediate task at hand.
I see.
You're thinking like a leader.
So instead of just proving that I can code,
Right.
I'm showing them that I can lead the whole problem-solving process.
Exactly.
Just like a captain steers the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Does narrating your thought process also fall under this command?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It might feel a little weird at first, but interviewers love it.
Hmm.
It's like you're explaining your strategy to your crew,
Okay.
showing them how you break down the problem, how you find a solution,
I see.
and how you communicate all your ideas.
So it's like giving them a behind-the-scenes look at how you code.
Exactly.
You're not just telling them what you did, but you're telling them how you did it.
Right.
Okay. I'm really starting to see how this captain's command can help you stand out in an interview.
Yeah.
What's the next pillar of Coder Ikigai?
So this one's called Your Mushroom Kingdom Adventure.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Can we just switch to Super Mario or something?
You could say that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like this clever way to look at the job search differently.
Hmm.
You know, make it less scary and more like an exciting adventure.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
So you start by figuring out your Princess Peach. You know what kind of job or role you really want,
Right.
what impact you want to make.
I see.
That passion is what's going to keep you going when things get tough.
Yeah, because let's be real, the job hunt can be brutal,
For sure.
especially when you're aiming for one of those top companies.
Absolutely.
It's like dodging fireballs and fighting those little turtle things,
Exact.
the Koopa Troopa.
Yeah, the Koopa Troopas.
So what's the Mushroom Kingdom solution to that?
Well, it's all about reframing those setbacks and rejections, you know, and seeing them as opportunities to learn.
Yeah.
It's like developing that Mario-like resilience.
Okay.
You know, you might fall down a few times,
Right.
but you always get back up and keep going.
So those rejections are just part of the game,
Exactly.
not the end of the game.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
And remember, it takes time.
Yeah.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics found that only 29% of people actually find a job
Wow.
within their first 10 applications.
That's not a lot,
No, it's not.
but that means the odds increase every time you apply, right?
Exactly. So don't give up.
Okay, what about that feeling of am I even good enough to be here?
Yeah. Imposter syndrome.
Hmm.
It's super common.
Even for experienced developers?
Oh, yeah. Even for experienced developers.
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling.
So the article says to just remember everything you've already accomplished, all the skills you've learned, all the challenges you've overcome.
Right.
You wouldn't even be interviewing at one of these companies if you weren't capable.
Okay, so it's about believing in yourself,
Exactly.
channeling that inner Mario confidence.
Exactly.
All right, on to the third pillar of Coder Ikigai.
Okay, so this one is called the Lego blocks technique.
Hmm.
It's all about breaking down those really complex coding problems
Okay.
into smaller pieces that are
Yeah.
easier to manage.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Yeah,
It makes coding seem way less intimidating.
exactly. Like building a Lego castle.
Right.
You wouldn't try to put all the bricks together at once, right?
Right.
You would look at the instructions,
Hmm.
figure out the different sections,
Right.
and then build them one by one.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
So it's about taking a structured approach,
exactly.
just like following those Lego instructions.
Right.
But how does this actually work when you're in an interview?
So the article gives you this 4-step process.
Okay.
First, you identify the blocks.
Hmm.
You break the problem down into smaller tasks.
I see.
Then you arrange the blocks. You figure out the order you're going to tackle those tasks in.
Right.
So instead of just looking at this giant wall of code,
Yeah.
you're organizing your approach,
Right.
just like sorting your Legos before you start building.
Okay, what are the final steps?
So then you build block by block,
Hmm.
implement each little task one at a time,
Okay.
test as you go,
I see.
and then finally you connect the blocks,
Okay.
combine all the solutions to create the complete masterpiece.
So it's like snapping those final Lego pieces into place
Exactly.
to reveal your amazing creation.
Yeah.
I really like this technique.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Not only does it help you solve the problem,
Right.
but it shows the interviewer that you're organized
For sure.
and that you have a good system for coding.
Exactly.
Does the article give an example of how this actually works?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
It uses the example of finding the maximum value in an array
Uh-huh.
and then counting how many times it shows up. And it shows you how to break that problem down into smaller steps.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
Like how to initialize the variables,
Right.
loop through the array,
Exactly.
and check for certain conditions.
Yep.
This is a really useful technique.
Yeah.
It helps you stay calm and focused,
Absolutely.
and it shows the interviewer that you know how to solve problems.
For sure.
All right. What's the fourth and final pillar of this Coder Ikigai thing?
Okay, so this one is called the Master Key Trio.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
It gives you 3 strategies for finding solutions:
Okay.
brute force,
Mhm.
simplification,
Okay.
and pen and paper.
What is brute force?
So brute force is basically just trying the simplest solution first,
Okay.
even if it's not the most elegant one. It's kind of like trying every key on a giant key ring until you find the one that works.
I see.
It might not be pretty,
Right.
but it can help you understand the problem better.
Okay, so it's about getting your foot in the door,
Exactly.
even if it's not the most graceful way to do it.
Right.
What about simplification?
So simplification is all about breaking down those overwhelming problems
Okay.
into smaller pieces.
Hmm.
If a problem feels too big,
Right.
try making it smaller.
I see.
Solve the simpler version first,
Okay.
and then scale up to the original challenge.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
It's like fighting a giant monster.
right.
Instead of trying to attack all of it at once.
Exactly.
You focus on one part at a time.
Uh-huh.
What about pen and paper?
So this one might seem a little old-fashioned, but it's really powerful.
Hmm.
It's about stepping away from the computer
I see.
and working through the problem by hand.
Okay.
Sometimes actually writing things down,
Right.
drawing diagrams,
Okay.
testing scenarios
Hmm.
can help you see things you might miss on a screen.
It's like going back to the basics.
Exactly.
Using those tried and true problem-solving techniques.
Right.
So these 3 master keys,
Yeah.
brute force,
Uh-huh.
simplification, and pen and paper
Right.
give you all sorts of tools for tackling coding challenges,
They do.
both during your interview prep
Yeah.
and throughout your whole career.
For sure.
It's like adding power-ups to your coding arsenal.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've gone over the 4 pillars of Coder Ikigai,
Yeah.
which is a great way to approach this whole MAANG job hunt thing.
It is.
But let's talk about some of the things that could trip us up.
The pitfalls.
Yeah, the pitfalls.
Okay, so even with the best preparation,
Yeah.
there are mistakes that even really skilled coders make.
It happens.
It happens.
So what should we be looking out for?
One of the biggest ones is jumping to code too quickly.
Hmm.
It's tempting to just start writing code right away,
Yeah, I could see that.
especially when you're nervous in an interview.
Right.
But you really got to take the time to understand the problem first.
Okay.
Plan your approach.
It's like starting a marathon without stretching first.
Exactly.
Or like planning your routes.
Right.
You might be excited to get going.
Yeah.
But you're probably going to hit a wall pretty quickly.
You will.
So slow and steady wins the race.
It does.
What other pitfalls should we be aware of?
Writing unreadable code.
Hmm.
Your code might work perfectly,
Right.
but if it's messy or hard to understand,
Yeah.
no one's going to want to use it.
That makes sense.
It's like trying to read someone's really messy handwriting.
True.
You might be able to figure it out,
Yeah.
but it's going to take a lot of effort.
Okay, so your code needs to be clear and concise
Exactly.
and well documented.
Yeah, like you're telling a story.
Right.
You want it to be engaging and easy to follow.
What else should we watch out for?
Okay, this one's really important. Soft skills.
Okay.
It's not enough to just be good at coding.
Right.
You also have to be able to communicate effectively, work collaboratively,
Okay.
and show leadership.
Right. Because technical skills are important,
Absolutely.
but they're only part of the equation. It's like having all the ingredients for a cake, but not knowing how to bake it.
That's a great analogy.
So how do we showcase those soft skills in an interview?
Well, it's about being a good listener,
Okay.
asking good questions, and being able to explain your ideas clearly.
Right.
You want to show that you can work well with others, even when things get tough.
Okay, so it's not just about showing off how much you know.
Right.
It's about being a team player.
Exactly.
What about teamwork? How important is that in an MAANG environment?
It's crucial.
Okay.
You're going to be working with a lot of different people,
Right.
developers, designers, product managers.
I see.
So you got to be able to collaborate effectively.
It's like a jazz band.
Well,
Everyone brings their own skills to the table,
Right.
and they improvise together to create something amazing.
That's a great analogy.
So how do you show off your teamwork skills in an interview?
Talk about times when you've worked well on a team in the past. What did you contribute? How did you handle challenges?
Right.
Did you take initiative?
I
Did
see.
you help resolve conflicts?
So it's about showing that you can thrive in a team environment.
Exactly.
What other soft skills are important?
Problem solving.
Okay.
And not just in the technical sense.
Yeah.
It's about being able to think strategically, break down problems into smaller steps,
I see.
and find creative solutions.
Right, because the tech world is constantly changing.
It is.
It's like navigating a maze where the walls are always moving.
Exactly.
So how do you show them that you have those problem-solving skills?
When you're working on a coding challenge,
Yeah.
explain your thought process.
Okay.
Don't just focus on the solution. Walk them through how you got there.
Right.
Show them that you can think critically
I
and
see.
find creative solutions.
Even when things get tough.
Exactly.
So it's not just about getting the right answer.
Right.
It's about showing them how you think.
Uh-huh.
What about leadership?
Leadership is always good to show.
Even for an entry-level
You
job?
see it for an entry-level job
Yeah.
because it shows that you're ready to take on more responsibility,
Gotcha.
even if you're not managing people right away.
I see.
You can still show them that you have leadership potential.
Okay. How do you do that?
Talk about projects where you took initiative or where you mentored someone
Okay.
or where you came up with a new idea.
Right. Doesn't have to be a formal leadership role,
No, not at all.
but you have to show them that you have that spark.
Exactly.
It's like showing them that you're not just following the path,
Right.
you're blazing your own trail.
Uh-huh.
Are there any other soft skills we should be thinking about?
One more. Adaptability.
Why is that important?
Because the tech world is constantly evolving.
That's true.
New languages,
Yeah.
new frameworks,
Right.
new tools.
It's hard to keep up with everything.
It is.
It's like trying to drink from a fire hose.
Exactly.
So you have to be comfortable with change
You do.
and eager to learn new things.
Right.
So how do you show them that you're adaptable?
Highlight your willingness to learn.
Okay.
Talk about times when you've worked in fast-paced environments. Show them that you can adapt to different team dynamics.
Right.
You're not afraid of change.
I see.
You embrace it.
So it's not just about what you know right now.
Yeah,
It's about being a lifelong learner.
exactly.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about soft skills,
Yeah.
but preparing for a MAANG interview can feel really overwhelming.
It can.
It's like training for the coding Olympics or something.
It is a challenge.
Where do you even begin?
Well, remember that Coder Ikigai framework.
Yeah.
Approach this with a strategic mindset
Okay.
and that mushroom kingdom resilience.
Right.
And remember, there are resources out there to help you.
Like what?
Well, we talked about the Tech Giant Incubator, but there are tons of other programs and courses and communities.
You know, I remember when I was preparing for my first big tech interview. Oh, yeah. I was so nervous.
Yeah, it's
I
nerve-wracking.
almost forgot how to code.
It happens.
But I joined a study group
Oh, nice.
and practiced with my friends.
That's a good idea.
And eventually I started to feel more confident.
That's great.
Having a support system really helps.
Absolutely.
It's like having your own team of Luigis cheering you on.
I like that.
as you navigate the mushroom kingdom of tech interviews.
Exactly.
Don't forget to take care of yourself, too.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Get enough sleep, eat healthy,
For sure.
find ways to de-stress. You don't want to burn yourself out.
No, you don't.
It's like trying to run a marathon without any fuel.
Right, you'll hit a wall.
So take care of yourself,
Yeah,
both mentally and physically.
absolutely.
Okay, we've talked a lot about strategy
Yeah.
and frameworks and pitfalls and preparation.
Right.
But I think it's important to remember why we started coding in the first place.
Oh, absolutely.
What was it that sparked your passion?
Yeah. What problems do you want to solve? What impact do you want to make?
It's easy to get caught up in the competition
It is.
and forget about the joy of coding.
That's true.
So as you're going through this whole MAANG interview process,
Yeah,
remember to hold on to that passion,
absolutely.
that love for what you do.
For sure.
It's like remembering why you fell in love with video games.
Oh, I like that.
It wasn't just about winning.
Right.
It was about the adventure,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
challenge,
Mm,
the feeling of accomplishment.
exactly.
So yes, prepare and work hard and be strategic,
Right.
but don't forget to enjoy the journey,
Absolutely.
because it's not just about getting the job.
Right.
It's about finding a career that you love.
A fulfilling career.
Exactly.
All right, so that's the end of part 1 of our deep dive into cracking the code.
We'll be back with part 2 soon.
See you then. So we were talking about standing out from the crowd, and I think we should talk more about soft skills.
Oh yeah, soft skills are so important.
They really are.
Like you can be the best coder in the world,
Right.
but if you can't communicate or work with a team,
Exactly.
it's not going to matter.
It's like having all the ingredients for a cake, but you don't know how to bake.
Oh yeah, I love that analogy.
So let's break down those soft skills.
Okay.
What are some examples that can really make a difference?
Yeah. And how do you show those off in an interview?
Okay, so first up,
One.
communication.
Right. Communication is key.
It is. Can you explain complicated technical stuff in a way that anyone can understand?
Like you don't want to be that person who's always talking in code.
Exactly.
It's like trying to have a conversation with someone who only speaks Klingon.
That's a good one.
So how do you show them that you have good communication skills?
Well, you got to be able to explain your ideas clearly,
Okay.
ask good questions,
Yeah.
and be a good listener.
Right.
Show them that you value what they have to say.
Okay. What about teamwork?
Teamwork is huge,
Yeah.
especially at a main company.
Because building software is rarely a solo effort, right?
But it's not.
It's more like a jazz ensemble.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone brings their own unique skills to the table,
Exactly.
and they create something amazing together.
I like that.
So how do you highlight your teamwork skills?
Think about past projects where you worked on a team.
Okay.
What was your role?
Mm.
How did you contribute? Did you help resolve any conflicts?
So it's about showing them that you're a team player,
Exactly.
not a lone wolf coder.
Right.
Okay. What other soft skills are essential?
Problem solving,
Okay.
and not just the technical kind.
Hmm.
Can you think strategically,
Okay.
break down problems into smaller pieces,
Right.
and find creative solutions?
Right, because the tech world is always changing.
It is.
It's like navigating a maze where the walls are constantly shifting.
Exactly.
So how do you show them that you have those problem-solving skills?
When you're working through a coding problem in the interview,
Yeah.
explain your reasoning. Don't just focus on the solution.
Hmm.
Show them how you got there.
Okay.
Walk them through your thought process.
I see.
Show them that you can think on your feet
Right.
and adapt to new situations.
So it's not just about finding the right answer.
Exactly.
It's about how you approach the problem.
Right.
What about leadership?
Leadership is a big one,
Even for entry-level roles.
even for entry-level roles,
Why is that?
because it shows that you're ambitious,
Okay.
that you're ready to take on more responsibility in the future.
So even if you're not managing people right away,
Right.
you can still show them that you have leadership potential.
Exactly.
How do you do that?
Talk about projects where you took the lead,
Mm.
or where you mentored someone, or where you came up with a new idea and got people excited about it.
It's about showing them that you can make things happen,
Exactly.
that you're not afraid to step up.
Right.
Okay. Any other soft skills we should be thinking about?
One more.
Okay, what is it?
Adaptability.
Why is that so important?
Because the tech world moves so fast.
It does.
There are always new languages and frameworks and tools.
Right.
It can be hard to keep up.
It's like drinking from a fire hose.
Exactly.
So you have to be comfortable with learning new things
You do.
and adjusting to new situations.
Right.
So how do you show them that you're adaptable?
Talk about your willingness to learn new things,
Okay.
your experience in fast-paced environments, and your ability to work with different types of people.
Right.
Show them that you're not afraid of change,
That-
that you embrace it.
So it's not just about what you know right now.
It's not.
It's about your ability to learn and grow.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about soft skills,
Yeah.
but preparing for a May interview can be pretty daunting.
It can be.
It's like training for the coding Olympics.
It's a lot of work.
So where do you even begin?
Well, remember that Coder Ikigai framework?
Yeah.
Approach this with a strategic mindset. And that Mushroom Kingdom resilience.
Right, don't give up.
Exactly. And remember, there are resources out there to help you.
Like what?
We talked about the Tech Giant Incubator,
Mm-hmm.
but there are tons of other programs and courses and communities.
You know, when I was prepping for my first big tech interview,
Yeah.
I was so nervous.
It's normal to be nervous.
I almost forgot how to write a simple for loop.
It happens.
But I joined a study group
Oh, that's a good idea.
and practiced with my friends.
That's a great way to prepare.
And I eventually started to feel more confident.
That's awesome.
Having a support system really helps.
It does.
It's like having your own team of Luigis cheering you on
I love that analogy.
as you navigate the mushroom kingdom of tech interviews.
So true.
And don't forget to take care of yourself.
Oh, yeah. That's so important.
Get enough sleep, eat healthy food,
Right.
find ways to de-stress. You don't want to burn yourself out before you even get to the interview.
No,
It's like trying to run a marathon without any fuel.
you'll hit a wall.
So take care of yourself mentally and physically.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've talked about strategy
Yeah.
and frameworks and pitfalls and preparation.
Right.
But I think it's also important to remember why we got into coding in the first place.
Oh, for sure.
What was it that sparked your passion?
Yeah. What do you love about coding? What problems do you want to solve?
What impact do you want to have on the world?
Exactly.
It's easy to get caught up in the competition
It is.
and forget about the joy of coding.
Yeah. You got to remember why you started.
So as you're going through this whole MAANG interview process,
Mm-hmm.
remember to hold on to that passion,
Absolutely.
that love for what you do.
That's what's going to keep you going.
It's like remembering why you fell in love with video games as a kid.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
It wasn't just about winning.
Right.
It was about the adventure,
Uh-huh.
the challenge,
Yeah.
the feeling of accomplishment.
So true.
So yes, prepare and work hard and be strategic,
Absolutely.
but don't forget to have fun along the way.
Exactly. Because it's not just about getting the job.
Right.
It's about finding a career that you love.
A career that's fulfilling.
That's what it's all about.
All right, I think it's time to move on to the last part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
All right, so we've talked about a lot of stuff today
We have.
about how to land a job at one of those MAG companies.
Right. Meta, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google.
Yeah, all the big ones.
The dream jobs for a lot of people.
Exactly. So let's recap what we've learned.
Okay, sounds good.
First of all, landing a MA job is totally possible,
It is.
but it takes more than just technical skills.
It's not just about being a coding wizard.
Right. You have to show them that you can solve problems,
Yeah.
that you can communicate clearly,
Mm.
and that you can work well with a team.
You got to be a team player.
Exactly. And that's where that Coder Ikigai framework comes in.
Right. It's all about finding your purpose.
Finding your Princess Peach.
Your dream job.
Right. And remember those setbacks and rejections.
The Koopa Troopa kickbacks.
Yeah, they're just part of the journey.
They are.
They're opportunities to learn and grow.
Exactly.
And don't forget those master keys.
Brute force, simplification, pen and paper.
Yeah, those are your secret weapons for solving those tricky coding challenges.
Or like power-ups for your coding journey.
I like that. And of course, we can't forget about those soft skills.
Oh, no, those are crucial.
Communication, teamwork, problem solving, leadership, adaptability.
Those are the things that will make you stand out.
They're like the special abilities that make your character shine.
I like that analogy.
All right, so now for the actionable part.
Okay.
I want you to think about your own career goals,
Mm-hmm.
whether you're aiming for a MANG company or something else entirely.
Right. It doesn't have to be a tech job.
Exactly. So take a minute and think about your own Princess Peach.
Okay.
What's that dream job or achievement that you're working towards?
Get those goals out of your head and onto paper.
Exactly. Now think about those potential Koopa Troopa kickbacks.
It's the challenges and setbacks.
Yeah. What are some of the things that might trip you up along the way?
And how can you prepare for them?
It's all about being proactive and resilient.
Right. Just like Mario.
Now think about how you can use those master keys and the Lego blocks technique
Okay.
to break down complex tasks and solve problems.
Not just in coding, but in any part of your life.
Exactly. And don't forget to reach out for help when you need it.
Oh yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Find a mentor, or join a study group, or talk to your friends.
Or like having your own team of Luigis cheering you on.
So there you have it.
Mmm.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
And I hope you found this deep dive helpful and inspiring.
I hope so too.
Remember, believe in yourself, embrace the challenges, and never stop coding.
And never stop learning.
That's a great point. Until next time, everyone.
Happy coding!